Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praise unto Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles of GreatMillStone. On you brothers to be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. So this is going to be a video, and I'm going to call this video, When We Rule the World. There will be something to the effect of peace or righteousness established. Something like that. Okay, I'll find the right wording for it once I upload the video. So pretty much I'm gonna start this video, and this is like a part 2, and I might do part 3, part 4, part 5, and all depending on how the Spirit has it where I do it. But what you find out from the scriptures is, and this is really this precept I have here. This is what people call the second covenant. This is what they're really talking about. This is what it's really talking about. All right, the second covenant is when the Israelites, all right, the children of Israel, which is the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and the Israelites scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, receive the law, statutes, commandments within their minds. Okay, because when you go into the scriptures, all right, the scripture says that the creature was made subject unto vanity. All right, if I just quickly jot that out, and then I'll pull up the scripture. So this is the book of Romans. Oh, so that's the same scripture, right? So that's beautiful. So let's start here. Romans. I could start from Romans 8 and 17, right? So it says, if we be children, Yasharallah, right? We're the children of he, the prince with the power. What's a prince? A prince is the son of a king. If the children then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. So the scriptures there is basically saying that we're going to be kind of on the same level. Well, we're going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. Right now, the scripture talks about the order, how the Most High is at the top, Yahweh Shai is second to him, right? King David and so on and so forth. But we're joint heirs. We've got the same inheritance, which is the rulership of the world. If you go into the scriptures, you read the scriptures of Yahweh Shai. Right, how is he going to have a scepter, which a scepter is a rod-like instrument that symbolizes power over the nations, right? So that was given unto Yahweh Shai. But also too, when you go into the book of Revelations 2:25, it says that he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, which is the men of the Lord pushing this word, he that keepeth my works unto the end, okay, to him with the Most High, I shall give power over the nations, all right, and he shall rule them with a rod of anger, with a rod of correction. He shall rule them all over them, all right, with a rod, right, which is that same scepter, right, figuratively and literally speaking. So it says that if we're children, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Yahweh Shai Mashiach, it shall be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. So when you check out what happened to the Lord, and the scripture says that the servant's not greater than the master. The servant is beneath the master. All right. So if the master suffered, which Yahweh Shai suffered at the hands of his own people, that's what you're gonna find out. The worst people when it comes to this truth, the worst people is really our own people, because the scripture says that. And now let's not get it twisted. This is not like the times of the Romans because now Esau really wants to push his thing of the New World Order. So their God is going to come down having great wrath, pursuant to the book of Revelations 12 and 12. But the scripture says that the rulers are not a terror to good works. So for the most part, especially on your so-called day-to-day walk, you're going to find out that Esau don't really be messing with you like that, man. But your own people, they're like your second worst enemy, because your first worst enemy is yourself. And I believe I did a video on that in the past. But really, if I get a chance to sit down and go through some nice scriptures, I'll do that and go into a video. And I got to really do some more videos that are more in-depth. So continuing here, it says, if we be children, then heirs, and heirs of the Most High, then joint heirs, we Yahweh Shai Mashiach. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. So the Lord suffered, so we got to suffer. But when the Lord's glorified, guess what? We, the children, the joint heirs, are going to be glorified too. Remember what the scripture says. The scripture says that the scripture says how if we be dead in Yahushua Mashiach, then when the Lord is raised up, we're gonna be raised up too. That is to say, in this world, you got people out here that are living it up, man. Okay, that living it up. Now you got brothers that are doing all right, but the thing about this truth, you're broke by association. Okay, I like that term because that's a term I like using in my my day-to-day walk, because you might have £10 in your pocket, but you got to take care of the family. There's a situation there, okay? But if you check out these other, the people in the world, their situation, it's all about self, man. Okay, and they're so-called doing their thing, so they're alive to this world, right? That's what the scripture says. They're alive to this world, but we're dead to this world because we got obligations that we're going to take care of. First and foremost, this truth and whatever predicament that Yahweh Shai may put you in, all right, to make your walk, okay, a walk that's going to be difficult, because the scripture says, enter ye at the straight gate, which is a difficult path, right? So it says, so if you consider that we're dead now, well, guess what? If we're joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, when Yahweh Shai rules, the Lord said he was going to give him the nations as his prize, right? As his inheritance. So we're going to have an inheritance power over the nations too. Okay? That's what we're going to have too, man. And I did, you go to the previous video, I think I was going into the thing of slavery, but it goes deeper than that. Rulership is not just a thing of having women. Rulership is talking about managing water. Okay, a lot of brothers, they don't be thinking of that. You got to manage how water is, when you take a shit, all right, we don't know how we're going to do it, but when you take a shit in this kingdom, you flush away with water, right? Well, the water there's a process to where that water is going to return back in the tap. Okay? So you got to manage water, you got to manage the animals, you got to manage the grass, the vegetation, and that was, and also too the people, which is the earth's, so-called unique resources, the people that are on it, the heathen, of which the Lord gave that unto Yahweh Shai to rule over. I think it's in the book of Revelations, the 9th chapter. It might not be, maybe Revelations, the 6th chapter, where it says, Yahweh Shai came having many crowns upon his head, and that's the kings that he's going to take over. So it's not going to be like when you check out the history, when you had a conqueror like Alexander the Great, he conquered what? He conquered he conquered the whole known world. So it was like he had many crowns upon his head. And after him, what happened? His generals put crowns on themselves. So when Yahweh Shai comes, he's going to conquer the whole world, and he's going to put a crown on his head, and he's also going to give the crown to what? To his men, because we're going to be joint heirs with him, all right? So continuing and moving further to my point, it says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present times are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us, right? For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the Son. For the creature, which is us, was made subject to vanity, not willing, but by reason of him that hath subjugated him the same in hope. That is to say, the Most High created the creature subject unto vanity so that his word might be fulfilled. Because we're all just robots here. We're just carrying out the will of Yahweh Shai, man. You might, be feeling yourself or whatever. But guess what? The Most High said that what? He hardened Pharaoh's mind. So even with a thing like Pharaoh chose to be proud, because the Most High put it within Pharaoh's mind to get proud, man. The Most High controls everything. That's why he's called the Most High. Okay, so he created this creature, us, subject unto vanity, which is evil, right? So we was always going to go off to the end that this scripture might be fulfilled here, the book of Hebrews 8:8. It says, so then, Romans. So now we can go into the book of Hebrews 8:8, right? So this scripture could be fulfilled. So for finding fault with them, which is a fault that he put in there, right? He saith, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Jacob, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers, right, in the day when I took them out of the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in that covenant, because he created this creature subject unto vanity, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord, for this is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel, right, after those days, saith the Lord, I'll put my laws into their mind, and I'll put my laws into their hearts, brother, and I'll be to them a people, and they shall be to me a people. I shall be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. Okay, so pretty much from that, what you should be able to understand is The major difference that the Most High is going to put upon us is that what? That he's going to make us perfect. And in being perfect, when we rule, the earth is going to be at rest, because there's not going to be any need, okay, for judgments to be playing out, okay, for evils to be within the earth. All right. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is plagues. The scripture says that what? The wages of sin is death. But guess what? When there is no sin, there is no death. All right. So that's a thing to think about right there. So pretty much with that, I'm gonna say all praise unto Yahweh Shemi Al Shai Wahara Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. Honest you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.